Hello, Sanjay. Good morning.
Hello, good
Um,
morning. You have muted yourself again. I think you want to speak in silence.
yes, true. But there is a question as well.
Yes, yes.
You can hear me now, can't you? Uh, uh, the question being, if sorry, what? Sorry, sorry. Let me just try to. Um, what is the value of compassion when sorry, we are being pointed to the witness state, the witnessing state? I'm just, sorry, I'm not putting this question together very well, but I do you know what I mean? Um, I'm sorry, Sanjay. It's just not coming out properly.
I think you're trying to say that what is the value of compassion in witnessing? Is that right?
uh, yes, I think it is. You know, like from many paths, we're told that we're urged to be compassionate and that, but from a non-dual aspect, we're urged to be being in the witness state. So do you know what I mean? There seems to be a divide between the two.
Okay, that's a very good question, and I'll try my best to explain you. Compassion is the self. Self is always infinite compassion because everything belongs to self. And for an example sake, people are very much attached to their own family, and they can do anything for their family or for their kids, but they will not do anything for someone who is living in other country or having a same situation because they have no attachment to that. And compassion is attachment to everything equally, undivided, pure, not me, mine, which the selfish ego divides things. You don't have to develop compassion. That is what I'm trying to
Right.
say. When you stay as a witness, compassion is your nature. Compassion, you don't have to develop the qualities. In every organized religion, there are things that speak truth, don't steal, help others, and all those things, and they are good. And sometimes you can follow these things, sometimes you can't follow these things. When it comes to compassion, maybe whatever teachings you have learned, you think compassion is good, and compassion is important. But to develop compassion looks very odd. We are that compassion. When you are witnessing, when you're not in the ego mode, even if you don't want to be compassionate, you can't stop it. So, witnessing is that pure state which has all those qualities, I should say, which we all are longing for. So it's not like you are changing your personality, you're getting rid of that person. And then what is left is that beautiful, pure awareness, that nameless, formless in all of us. For it to unfold, you have to go, you have to disappear in the way what you think you are as a person who is trying to achieve, he is reaching some goal or have less compassion or whatever it is. And that is why you do just one thing and it will settle away everything.
Hmm.
So that is what I can tell you about this.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, David. Anyone has any question? Yes,
Sanjay,
Suzanne. Yes, Suzanne. Go ahead. Suzanne wants to say something? Unmute yourself, Suzanne.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to say, to give what I think was a little sample of some compassion. On Wednesday when you were giving your satsang, and I was sitting there, I was minding a dog, and the dog was having, I think, a nightmare because it's an old dog. And I was watching you and I didn't want to leave, But then I looked over and then what came to me was, what would Bhagavan do? What would Sri Ramana do? And I just got up and just sort of tapped him and he settled and I came back. And it's not that I'm a dog lover. I'm not really a dog lover. But it's following the teachings, and thank you to all the postings that people put, because I knew nothing about Bhagavan, but simple life, I think, helps us as well. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yes, it is practical. It's not something people think and they've made a concept of non-duality, witnessing as you have to sit in a cave, you can't move, you can't do anything. That doership goes away, but the body still does something. And I think it does beautifully everything, and intuitively it does the right thing at the right time. So there is no conflict between being the self and not in a way what ego always say, helping others or doing good to others. It always does good only. It is its quality. It can't resist because it has no purpose left for itself. When a person is doing whatever he or she is doing in this world, it's all about what for me, how can this activity can fulfill me, whether it's my health, my happiness, money, for my family or for my community or for my religion. So it's all about me, mine, my. But if there is, let's say, that reference point is not there, it has disappeared forever, then what is left? Then actually no thing is left. We think this body is a thing. This is a thing for that owner who thinks he is this body. The moment this concept, this illusion disappears, there is no reference point, what for me. When it disappears, then whether you call it compassion, whether you call that everything is the same, whatever it is everything is same. This body and other bodies, and not just the human bodies, but animal body or plant body, or things which people thinks are inanimate. Everything is same, because in everything Substrata is the same, essence is that same pure awareness. You just have to discover your own self and you know the truth. You don't have to find self in everyone. You find self in you and everything is done. It is so beautiful. It is all tricks of the mind. It takes us that what about this? If I'm witnessing, how can I help others or how can I do something else? But it just sorts out things in the most beautiful way. I'm pretty sure so many things which we think are important, they just disappear. Lot of things loses their importance because it is the ego which binds so many concepts, so many things together. And when it is gone, the I root is gone, the whole tree of ego and its projections disappear. And so we almost always say there is nothingness or there is emptiness because there is so much of spaciousness, freedom, liberation from that constricted identity, which is very suffocating. Only a seeker knows this, how suffocating this ego is, or this I amness is. And when you get released from it, how much contentment and peace you experience within and also in the world. All the chatter of the mind goes away. Or even if there are thoughts, they don't hold any ground on you. And then who will meditate on whom? And the only thing left is gratitude or thank you. And again, thank you to whom? But you still say thank you to that pure self which has manifested in you. It's like it has chosen you to show you reality. And then someone can say, I have done so many things, I have put efforts, struggled. But the one who thinks he is putting effort, that disappears. So no one even can claim this freedom. That I have done it. When I gone, what is left is that pure self. Anyone else has any question or to tell something? Madhuri, you wanted to ask something, I believe.
Yeah, my questions are very basic. I think most of them know the answers. So, uh, but uh, but if you want, I can ask.
Yeah, go
So-
ahead.
So the first thing, Sanjay, I want to ask is, I was doing this before I start. My name is Madhuri. I'm from Austin, Texas. I joined the group today for the first time. I was like hunting on to join since 1 month, but this today it happened. So thank you very much, Sanjay, for allowing me to join the group.
Thank
So
you. It's
I was doing this practice since many years, but I didn't have any live mentor who has walked the path and who can give me guidance. So luckily, I saw Sanjay's videos, and then I wanted. Perhaps when Ramana says that, be the witness, abide in the self, and be the witness. So what I understand and what I was practicing is, suppose if I'm talking to you, I inwardly see my body talking, and I am trying to be the witness of the way I'm sitting, the way I'm moving my hands, the way I'm talking. So it was initially very difficult. I was, coming out and in. I didn't know what I should witness, what I should see. So now I just try myself as much as possible to, when I'm opening the door, my hand is touching the handle, the touch feeling, when I'm speaking, the tongue movement, everything I'm trying to get into that subtle mode of witnessing is what is, this is what Ramana meant, Sanjay, or I just want you to correct me whether I understood it correctly.
I should say that that is not correct witnessing, because what you're doing is you're paying more attention to each movement of the body, how the body is moving. That is just attention to the body movements, isn't it? That you're opening the door or you're doing something. So you are more attentive to the moment. But this attention in us can be less. Sometimes you wake up in morning, you might be very drowsy, and energy levels are low. You're not paying attention to things. Sometimes your mind is not active, and you're not understanding what is happening, interaction with patients, or whatever other family member, whatever you're doing. So we all go through these phases in which attention is less. Witnessing is not an entity but an awareness which is not involved in the acts. It is not an entity, it is not the body's actions which we have to witness. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's not even thoughts which we have to witness. But in that witnessing mode, these things are happening in front, in a sense. Let's say you move backward from where you can see everything what is unfolding, and the first thing you will see is this this ahankar or ego, which is the root of all our intentions, then thoughts, and then actions. If we recede, we can see that how it creates a situation or how it plans things. That I amness in us, witnessing that something, even we can witness that. But when we are too much involved in our ego mode, we cannot be a witness to that. That is real witnessing, not the actions of the body. Actions of the body comes very late, then it is already too late. Even thoughts comes after some intention, and intention comes from that ego mode, the one which thinks I am this and I have to. So watch that. When you watch that, what happens is you are paying attention to that I thought, or that which holds this ground, that I have to do this because for this body or mind or whatever. When you witness that or you just observe, that starts disappearing. And that is beautiful opening, because now you know that there is where you as a whatever entity end in that witnessing, isn't it? And you can call it a pure witnessing, because this one who is witnessing has no personal interest in your actions. It is very, very uninvolved. It is just, and this is the first time you will understand that you are so impersonal. There is nothing personal about Madhuri. It is just the name given. There is a body, there is a work, and all this what conditioning of our life, our upbringing, we think we are an entity. First time when we can witness that ego from that impersonal presence, that is itself that is the opening. And from there you now know what to hold on to that awareness, from where you can see how this ego unfolds and how it creates and how it, so you are now holding on to the root of it. The moment you hold on to the root, you don't have to do anything, just your this pure observation melts it away. And
Observation in the, like I just gave the example of a body, but I also try to observe my emotions while they are arising, and also if I see the anger, I know that yeah, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So
correct.
that witnessing at the mental level, witnessing at the physical level, witnessing the emotional level, is that
that's okay, yeah, but witnessing at the level of where any intention is arising, whether that is arising from this ego, you understand that this whatever actions the body does, before that it plans something, isn't it? It goes into a thought form. Before thought it goes as an intention. And whether that intention is coming from the ego or coming as a presence, that is the difference, isn't it? Whether it is for me or whether it is for every. So the moment you see from there, all your emotions and all your thoughts, they all come from that ego only. And ego, main thing is that I root. So try to hold on to that I root rather than to the thoughts. Thoughts comes only after that I root is there. For pure presence, there is no need of thoughts, because there is no intention. This is such a desireless state that it does not need help of the thoughts to live or to sustain life. It just continues the way the life will take it. Understand, all thought serves our ego. With continue, what you are doing is very right. You continue, but you will reach this thing more clearly. There will be more clarity in you, what I'm talking to you. That just not the body actions or emotions or thoughts, you will come to this further recede, where when this intention is arising, that I root. Because Bhagavan puts it so beautifully, he says that if you try to nullify each thought, it is like leaves on a tree. You pluck one, another come, pluck one. Normal human beings get 60 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. You will be a mad person if then maybe someone will be thinking we are moving hands and we are getting rid of this thought, that thought, oh my God, that would be a disaster in a way. But if we go further back and see for whom these thoughts are arising, if you can put this question, the answer will be to this ego, this I. And then just be aware of that. You are aware of that will disappear that. That is the beauty. There will be no answer coming out of it, only silence. So try to go further back, recede further, and you will see it. Sometimes it is noticeable very clearly, other times it might be a bit difficult when you are in the midst of emotions and mind attack and so much, then you can't do witnessing. The best time to witnessing is when you're peaceful, calm, when there are no major issues going on in life. That is the time when you can build your strength to go back as that substrata. I think David wants to ask something. Madhuri, do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, David, go ahead.
Yes, Sanjay. Just on that. So, sorry, I'm having trouble getting my questions out this morning. So, are you advising that we should be trying to catch the personal eye as much as possible during our days?
Yeah. Not even catching, but just be aware of it. The moment you are aware, it shies away. It starts receding.
Okay.
I think Ben.
For most of us, is it purely that, or and just doing our reading and our satsangs, etc., or are there further steps that we should also adopt?
I think everything helps.
Okay. Thank you.
Ben, you want to ask something?
I wanted to just report something that is related to the practice. It's kind of funny. The other day, I had a video of Annamalai Swami enlightenment coming in the feed of YouTube, and it's an episode. It's the bathroom episode where he decided to leave the ashram to go to Parapatu.
Yes.
I think. And I decided to have a nap after reading the story. And I think it was for the first time I was really in peace. And I was able to be in this witnessing mode. No tension, and I was about to go to sleep, but I was able to see that I wasn't sleeping, but no thought, no sensation, and I thought I was there for like 1 or 2 hours, but actually it was like for 10 minutes, and it was like you said, at this moment it was very clear for the first time. I saw the sensation in the body and the first thought saying, what time is it? That was kind of weird. And I remember I tried to do the practice to always look to witness, and it was very clear for the first time. To not having any ego or attachment or any desires for even watching, and I tried to look, but there was nothing to look, nothing, no form. Very, very weird, very weird. No concept actually to be able to put on this awareness. But still it's there. I can feel it. It's very tiny, I think, but it's there.
How long ago it happened, Ben?
So,
how many days back?
It was on Tuesday. It was on Tuesday. I'm taking this 10-week course with you, and you were just after, and I had 1 or 2 hours to be free, and the story of Annabelle Swami came, and I had the urge to read it, and I think it helped. It's grace. Grace is playing a big role, and yeah,
Very true.
grace is helping. It's beautiful.
I
Just
actually want to say this, but if I say this, then people will get very upset because the ego always wants to do something. It wants to achieve, it wants to be a doer and then reach the self. And what you are saying is exactly true, but you still have to give people to play a toy in that sense. Because what I'm saying is that what you have, that conceptless witnessing, that is what you have to be. But to have to be, you have to give up what you are not. What you are not. Now, what you are not is what the one who is trying to be the self. So that has to go. Now, how that will go? That will go when you look very keenly how this life we are leading from where, and by that witnessing in which we can see where that intention arises to do everything coming from the ego mode. The moment you witness that, the shift will happen. If your intention is so pure, no technique is needed because that's what we all are. Now, Ben, when you are saying that it was big and it is getting small, I would say how small that awareness is. It is that eternal awareness. Maybe there's a big thick cloud of mind has come over and it is like taking over, and it is giving you, it is reporting to you about this as a story. But don't buy this story of the mind. You are that pure awareness. How big, how thick, how long that mind cloud stays doesn't matter. Now you know your truth. You are that truth. Be with that truth. And whatever the mind, how the mind will come to you only as thoughts, or it has gone away, or it wasn't. It will take it only as an experience because mind has no clue. Mind cannot report it. This is the problem because there are scriptures written hundreds, thousands. Nobody can explain self. The one who tries to explain more actually confuses others more because it is not an entity, it has no form, it is not an experience. So don't take this opening as an experience, take this opening as you, and you are. So once you have seen the sun and it is now covered by cloud, doesn't matter, there is sun, you are that sun. And that is why I will say to you, don't buy what your mind says in form of thoughts. You are that. Even if the mind has taken over, you stay in your that pure presence. You know what it is. And you know how you felt or things were for you. Just be that. That is more than enough. It is so beautiful. It is all grace, actually. I have to say this. Because the one who keeps looking, one day he has to be humble, has to have some humility, and has to surrender, and has to be a devotee. That's why, this term devotee is so beautiful, Ramana's devotees. because disciples is like fell short of that relationship with the teacher, because disciple can be a disciple of someone else and he can find another teacher, but devotee means whether he gets anything or not, he is just devotee. Whether Bhagavan accepts him or not, he is a devotee. Like he has decided that this is what this teaching is, and this is what my teacher is, and this is what I'll do. And that is a beautiful relationship. Once you get into there, grace flows incessantly. It just takes over everything. It floods you. Right now you are thinking the mind has come. Don't worry. The grace is there. Grace is infinite. Grace is eternal. You are that grace. And this experience, I would say, if you are even calling it an experience, your mind is calling an experience, write it down. And only thing what you can do is just say thank you to that grace, thank you to that self. And that's all. There's nothing else to be done. Nobody can do anything. We talk about all the practices and self-inquiry and all. But there it takes you. It takes you, it leaves you at the door of grace, and then the grace pulls you. That is truth. There's nothing else. Because the one who is trying, who is questioning, that has to disappear. When that disappears, what is left is self. So good to know that, Ben. Very nice. Thank you for sharing with all of us. So nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
So Madhuri wants to ask. I can see your hand. You have to unmute yourself, Madhuri.
Yeah, just continuing the previous questions, Sanjay. So maybe being always in the mode of the way we are like brought up from childhood, like doing. Maybe that I feel that when that word abide in self, when you were explaining, and when I've even heard in other videos, I think mentally I'm still searching for a technique or something which where I can become from like effort to effortless, travel from putting effort and then to become effortless. So in that mode, when I was just trying more to understand, in Robert Adams' Silence of the Heart in the book, and Mooji, they give one technique for the beginners like that. They say like when you breathe in, say I, and then you breathe out, say am, or certain techniques which I started doing. Because I used to think that every time I used to try this witnessing, I used to fall back thinking that maybe I'm not yet there. I need to do some things to make myself to come to that threshold to at least understand and be that. So I started practicing these, and then slowly I came to a place where I started witnessing my thoughts, my emotions, my body. But still, as I'm saying, I still feel that I did not that the very glimpse of that statement, self-abidance. Can you suggest me anything where I can
again it's coming to doing. I don't know, my language is again asking what should I do. So is there anything you can at least suggest me to, at least to get the glimpse of what exactly Ramana means, or by saying self-abidance or be in the self, or I do understand you're saying to remove that doing, but again my thinking pattern is so still in that path of what should I do, some sort of a thing. Hope you understand what I am trying to ask.
Yeah, look, the thing is that whatever you are asking, it has to come from the thinking mind. That is so true. Self will never ask question. Self
Yes.
is pure presence. It has no doubts about anything. So moving from person to this presence of self, when we say it is a journey, mind always asks questions. Mind is not a witness. Mind doesn't know any witnessing. Mind is the doer. Mind is putting efforts. It's all about mind only. And I am saying to you that just borrow one thing from this mind: attention. Because attention is also part of the mind, isn't it? So borrow only just one thing from this mind: attention, and use that attention to find the witness. So the mind can only take you to that level where it can watch itself, its thoughts, its emotions, bodily movements. It cannot take you beyond that. Because there is this I amness in that. Now, the biggest disentanglement has to happen at this level, where this witness is tainted. It has this ego, it has this that it is watching, but it is accomplice of these thoughts and actions and doership. Now, when you stay as a witness watching this whole game where it has started, the root cause of identifying with this body and mind as yours, here the disentanglement will happen. And this will happen partly because you are now at that witnessing from where you can see how things are unfolding. This is like the best place. Let's say you are watching a theater or a big event and you have the best seat from where you can watch everything what is happening. When you stay here as even, let's say, a tainted witness, which is also involved ego, and this attention is also part of the mind, but staying there, a beautiful thing happens because you are so much longing for it. You have so much of interest in it. You are dedicating whatever time you have for it with all your intensity. This self will suck you in a way. It will, and this, but you have to come up to that door in a sense. I'm just trying to, there's no right word even to explain. It just sucks you in. It just, this personality, this person, this all concept, they disappear. Exactly like what Ben just explained, his experience, what mind is saying experience, but that is reality. But you have to put efforts up to there at least. So what you are doing is correct. There is, but you have to, it will refine itself. What you are doing from there onwards, the witnessing will refine itself more and more. And it will be mixed, and then it will be more clear. So this unfoldment or disentanglement with this ego mode has to happen at that there. But the complete opening is only grace, and that happen. So we use there is a term, I don't know what is the best in English, but patrata, like you have to be the right deserving, yeah. So to be the deserving candidate, you have to reach at least up to the door of that examination hall or whatever it is. You have to so effort will take you up to there, and that jump is a work of grace. So putting right efforts, right intentions, with all humility, you can be at the door and the grace will take you there. That's what I should say. And but yes, you have to put effort. So we can't say it is all grace and I don't have to do. When you know, then you know grace is the moment you know, the moment this opening comes, then you know it is all the work of grace. But before that, this ego mode always thinks that I am doing and I am putting efforts and all. And so even I would say, even if you are putting efforts, don't call it that I am putting efforts, because we are giving power to the ego mode only, isn't it? Put efforts, do best. Like it is like, you are helping someone and just keep telling, I'm helping others, I'm helping others. Then how others will feel? They will feel that this person has so much of ego. If you're helping others, why to tell others? Same in this journey also. This, we have to be very cautious. It is very fine thing. Ego can continue in so many ways, even on as a seeker in religious. So we have to come to this witnessing in all. That's why, as Bhagavan puts, and I think it's so important, that not just this method, but surrendering, devotion, bhakti, that is very important. That also, another, you have got tool to finish this ego. So you can use both together. There is no, so multi-domain approach is good. And as David was asking, then what about satsang? Yeah, if you think you need some help, and then yeah, ask each other. That is also very important. Vinitji, you want to ask
Thank you,
anything?
Sanjay.
Thank you, Madhuri. Thank you. Hello, Vinitji.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good morning, Sanjay.
Good morning.
Firstly, very, very grateful to you for the last 6 months since I joined the group. My question is related to sleep. When I sleep well, I think I find, it's much, much easier to meditate, to remove those cluttered thoughts, to just do whatever and keep mind just on whatever is being done or not being done, or just listen. So it's much easier. When sleep is not that great, there is a bit more, much more difficult, although the meditation does help bring back to that clarity. So I wanted to just get your comments about sleep and our practices.
Look, awareness is the same whether you sleep good or sleep bad, or have no sleep, or you are in waking. So probably you can look into sleep hygiene, I should say, if sleep you think is an issue. But I don't think I have to comment too much about it. Early morning awakenings are good to contemplate, to sit in solitude, having a set routine, going to bed at the same time every day, not having tea or coffee or any fizzy drinks or alcohol before you go to bed. Or, as a matter of fact, I would say try to avoid alcohol. So I can only talk like like a doctor about sleep hygiene and all those things, having a warm shower, having a massage, some good, do whatever works for your sleep. If you think sleep is important, and sleep is important for everyone, yes, when you are sleeping well, you are more attentive in daytime to be more aware of things, and to put efforts into your practice. That is for sure. So look for the sleep hygiene. If sleep hygiene has not done any good to you, then try melatonin.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I know it does help. Obviously, ever since I did start meditation, my sleep is far better. Yeah, even meditation and your practices that you talk about, and the no thought, but alertness, with alertness, and no thought with alertness. All those things that I practice during the meditation, and during the day. All those things are really helping with the sleep as well.
Looks
I mean,
like.
and my sleep is not this. Yeah.
So you have some sleep issues. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's mostly related to because I'm 71, and it's more related to more bones and things like that, which the aches which wake me up. I think the practices have really helped. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Somehow this morning session looks more like an evening session today, but anyway, it's good. Whatever, it has to happen. It's always good to, share your experiences, your practices. Anyone wants to share their practice or experience or whatever it is? I have to say something about this whole knowing of self. Whatever method you use, one thing which will definitely work for you is if this is the only desire you have with purest intention, it will happen. It will reflect in your eyes, it will reflect in how you take it. For another person, it might not reflect because you might still be working, taking care of family, whatever it is, but internally you are pulled in so much so that you are like a ghost doing things, but your all energy is within. And how someone has so much of longing, so much of interest is, again, I believe, is like grace working within you. It pulls you in. Because in this world, there are so many things which can entice you. It's so attractive. We have Chadston Shopping Centre in Melbourne, not very far from where I live. And you go, there are shops and shops and shops and very attractive shops and a lot of people. And it's like you come into samsara, you're walking through this shopping center and you're not buying anything, you're not stopping anywhere. You are just in your own place. You keep going. It is like, I don't know, it is like absolute is testing whether you think all the satisfaction and happiness are in these shops of samsara or is it within you? And he has given us this parcel, this packet within us. And we don't even care to open it to see that this is that jewel. And we look all these jewels in these shops. What are they selling in relationships, in things? in objects, and we don't look here. And then somehow, again, it's grace that we look within and we open this packet. And we find that it is infinite bliss, like it's a blank check, and eternal, and without suffering, and within us. And we were holding it for so long and looking outside. And every time when we were looking outside, we were fooled, we were doped. So many times we thought that this is something which we achieve, I'll be happy. And then that happiness was only momentarily and then slipped away. And then again, we are looking for something else. If you see the whole samsara, let's say you sit on a satellite, see the whole world, how people are moving, or you can go into a busy intersection of a city, you can see Times Square in New York, or maybe Federation Square in Melbourne, how people are running. Stop few people, ask them where are they going, what are they achieving, what are they doing. Everyone is just so busy. This is all Maya. Illusion has gripped everyone. Don't think anyone is more smarter than you. Everyone has been fooled. How educated you are, whatever job you do, everyone is in that grip. And then someone has some opening who pauses, reflects, contemplates, looks within, and finds within. But that one person looks mad in this mad world, isn't it? Because it is all about what the majority are. If the majority are mad, then that clever person will look mad, isn't it? But it happens, it will happen if you are interested. Because we have never looked within, but if you look within, practice will come to you, and refinement of practice will happen. And from practice or efforts, it will be just nothing will be left. Understand all these concepts and conditioning and our identity and what we think, which we have gathered with lot of efforts. Now we have to put efforts to get rid of it. That's all it is. And it is in a way doable. You can come back home, but it's like you're going through a shopping mall and you're collecting the stuff and you have created all this clutter around. Now coming back home, you have to get rid of all this clutter. Empty, 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 empty. We are lost in our own maze of the mind. We are not the mind. Give away ownership of mind. If you give away ownership of mind, that is more than enough, because it is coming for that ego. But if you give up ownership, if you don't entertain any thought, slowly these thoughts will fade up, leaving you in this blissful state of your own, without any concepts. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Damaji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sanjay.